called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by Management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Today, we will introduce you to a brand from entertainment segment called Veelo Cinema. Veelo Cinema, co-founded by Amitabh Bachchan, a veteran in cinema industry, aims to reduce the movie watching experience, aim to redefine the movie watching experience by bringing affordable, high quality cinema to tier 2, 3, 4 cities in India. Amitabh's extensive experience, including innovations like all reclining theaters, advanced 3D technology, and government concessions. Veelo Cinema combines his industry expertise with a mission to create a modern, accessible cinema across India. Today, I'm joined with Amitabh Vardhan, the founder himself, and also the COO of this company, Ashish Negi. Now, and we would also have Ashokji later to talk about the financials of this brand. Now, I would request Amitabh sir to please take the lead and help us understand your brand and the business opportunity.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great opportunity to interact with you and present our cinema, our concept, what what exactly is new about it, why it is different from others, and what it is there, what it has for you. So I will just have a small presentation and we'll just try to address through it. So Ashish, if you can play the presentation. Yeah.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So my journey actually started with for the cinema. I remember, if you guys remember, of all of you would be remembering a movie of Amitabh Bachchan called Kalia, and I think that was the second movie which I saw in my life, and I was so mesmerized with what I saw on the screen. Although I was, um, quite big, and we were not allowed to watch movies, and we used to only a study kind of thing. But when I saw the movie first time with the Kalia on a bigger screen, I saw, man, this is what is called magic. And from where the journey started. And then obviously I did my MBA, worked in different companies like Unilever, Papa John's, Domino's and all. And after that, I had an opportunity of joining a company called PVR. PVR was very small company at that time, very, very, very small. It was like just two cinemas they had. And from there, we built that company to whatever is today. And I worked with them for a long, long years. So what exactly happened that we learned not only about the cinema, but about the people of India, the way they watch movies. And if you know, obviously all of us know about the company PVR. Today, it is the name, which even if any multiplex is called as, it's a PVR. So this is the whole journey was there. And that was a lot of learning over there. And I left the company as a CEO for PVR. So major, and we went for the IPO. We did a lot of things. We opened almost 200 screens at that time and 400, 500 screens. So I signed up. If you are from, from your cities, if you remember, like, the Select City Walk to the Ambience to Ampa Mall to and Bangalore Forum, all those were opened by me. So thankfully, we had the opportunity of learning the cinema business uh, at the ground level, from Mumbai to Juhu, or you talked about Oberoi Mall, anything from Allahabad to Lucknow, a lot of cities we were able to. So I learned one thing, that how the people of India watch movie, what they like, because multiplex concept was very new at that time. Nobody other than PVR was only the single screens everywhere, here and there was there. And what was important it is important for you to understand that at that time, there were 60,000 registered single screens were there. 60,000, 60, which is the record which we had. Maybe there are 80 of them. Maybe there are a lack of screens were there. And today there are only 12,000 single screens are left. And maybe around 8,000, in last 2 years, they would have shut down. So suddenly what has happened? What happened to those, 40, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 screens? What happened? Where they went? So today, still in the smaller towns where there used to be 5 screens, 6 screens, or 2 screens used to be there is no screen. So today we realize that okay, there is a huge gap of the screen which are available in the market, and whoever has opened in those smaller cities are doing very well. There are cinemas to reckon with. So we'll just start from there. Now the next slide, Ashish, if you can. So what happened? So this is small introduction about me, but it's more about the company than. So these are the small achievements which were very important for the industry to go from a point where it was and where it is right now. For example, I was the person behind all the digitalization which you see the cinema today. There was no digitalization, so it was brought by me. So that was a big change in the ways the people cinema today. If we are talking about smaller screens in the tier two, tier three, it is because we are able to digitalize the whole cinema. Means you can run it. There is no print at all. So this removal of print, I was one of the, one of the, I will say catalysts, or I won't say that I was the only one, but definitely in India it was brought by me. So this was a big thing for the change of change the way movies were being watched. And then suddenly what happened, I realized that okay, I have done enough in India. Let's do something in internationally. So we opened cinemas in USA, opened in cinemas in Bulgaria, we opened in Romania, Serbia, all these opens, and these cinemas are still operational and is being controlled. So advantage of the Veelo cinema will be that we have running cinemas in Europe from where the technology transfer can be done anytime. Anytime can be done. So now what happens? Now let's talk about. So I had an opportunity of working with Domino's where I was able to understand that how, how the time is important. And another thing was that I worked for a long time with a company called Hindustan Lever, which is now called Unilever, where I was able to connect with all the retail outlets in the tier two and tier three cities. And I come from a very small town too, a small town, not, so unlike big companies, unlike the big guys who are sitting in Mumbai and Delhi and Chennai, uh, we have and our team has the ability of understanding what goes in the mindset of tier two and tier three. Because we are from the smaller town. Number two, we have professional experience in the smaller town, which is very important because the smaller town consumers don't behave the way the consumers behave in multiplex in sorry in metropolitans. So this understanding is very important. So what has happened because of Unilever and because of this background, we are able to work on a cinema which is absolutely suitable for tier 2 and tier 3. The good news is that we are working on this model. So we didn't come out suddenly that, okay, let's launch this thing. We are working on this model for the last 2 years. Why 2 years? Because there are a lot of things had to go over there. How to reduce the cost so that when you're building a cinema, your cost is not high. When you are building a cinema, it is going to last long. When you're building a cinema, your running cost is less. When you're building a cinema, it should be faster to execute. When you're building a cinema, you are trusting the mode of payment that okay, whatever I'm getting of the best price. So all these things, and even the smallest of the town will get all the movies which a Mumbai or Delhi will get. So these things took us almost 2 years. How can we get the same quality of sound at a lower cost in smaller town? Because smaller towns also they know they want to watch a good movie at a how can we get the right projection at a lower cost? So this innovation took us almost 2 years, and when we were perfect, so when almost in the month of July or August, we said, okay, we are perfect in this, and we should be launching it. That's when we decided that okay, we should be coming in front of you. So 2 years of research is not that okay, we thought 1 month back and we are launching it just because we are experienced. No, we are not doing that thing because it's a different format. And the best part is that nobody in India has got this format. Nobody has will be able to deliver a cinema at this cost and of this quality. What is more important is this quality. Because any cinema which we will open in a smaller city or any city, that will become an icon. It is going to, reflect your status and our credentials. So it is very important that we make every cinema of a PVR level, which has, which I understand that which is going to be PVR for that city. So that is the idea. And you are going to put your hard-earned money. So it needs to be at a very, very, very low cost without compromising on the quality of the product. One good news is that the grace of God, so far in the last, how much, 25 years of my career, whatever the cinema I've opened, which is approximately maybe around 400 screens, maybe more, 98.7% of the cinemas are profitable. 1.3, I missed out. So 98.7% of the cinemas, they are profitable. They made money because of whatever, a lot of things goes inside that how to make a cinema profitable. So all the companies, whether PVR, of course, and after that also, whatever the cinemas, I opened as an entrepreneur also, all the cinemas are profitable except for 1.3%. We will talk about that 1.3%, why it happened, but it was a learning. But this is one of the best success rate of by any company or any individual in and I think in the world. The good part is because I was able to work, in multiple countries, we will be able to, and there are a lot of operational difference in Europe or in US, and the way they run the cinemas is a world-class cinemas. The learning from them, we have already incorporated in Veelo Cinema. And you will, when we will discuss with you individually, you will understand, okay, these are the things not happening. So these are the things will bring the system, processes, the quality of the cinema, the delivery of the cinema much, much better. So if you're watching a cinema, for example, I will, for example, in USA small town, it will be the same thing over here. Same thing, maybe better, because Indians are very good in innovation. So this is going to be one of the USP, VSP for a Veelo cinema. Another thing which is very, very important, that any cinema guy, they say that, okay, we will get the seat from there, we'll get the seat from there. No. In our case, we have our own seat manufacturing company. We have our own seat manufacturing company, which makes the cinema seats up to recliners. So anything which is up to the recliner, if you require, all the seats will be coming, and it will be coming with a special technology which we call it the bounce technology in recliners. And the seats are also manufactured only for us. It is only going to be seats for Veelo Cinema, which is again, I think is going to be one of the best in that price category. Nobody can beat that thing. Our first cinema most probably will be opening in February 2025 in NCR, and it's a little high-end cinema, but definitely it's a good cinema. Now, because of my relationship with the industry for the last 25 years, one good point will be that all the cinemas, wherever they are, even if they are at the remotest of the place, they will be getting all the movies. And I'm talking about when all the movies means even the Assamese movies if required. If it is required a Bengali movie, that will be available. If a Rajasthani movie we want to play, we can get that thing. Obviously, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, all these things are obviously available. A Bhojpuri movie, for example, a Punjabi movie, all will be available because of our connection. Nobody will, we are connected to those people. So that's another big issue which most of the cinema guys follow. And being, PVR being another distributor, we or Dharma Production, Karan Johar, or if you talk about Yash Chopra, Adit Chopra. So all those connections, because of those connections, we will be getting the movies at the best of the terms, and the term maybe which PVR gets. So that's another very important, uh, another thing which is going to be very, very helpful to. Uh, sorry, Ashish. So now can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So we are talking about again our USPs will be the customized cinema. It is very, very important because all the locations are not the same. Somewhere, different. Every site has got its own challenges. So we have our own internal team of architects, of sound engineers, our manufacturers. So all these guys are there with us, who can customize, who can create the product according to our requirement. And I already talked about the seats. The seats also we are going to change if required. For example, if a seat is because of the constraint or because of the rake or something, if we have to change the seats, nobody will say that, okay, I cannot supply you 100 seats. We will get the 100 seats the way we want to. And this is going to be the advantage. The advantage will be two things. One, your cost will be under control. Number two, the quality will be under control. Number three, you don't have to run after those suppliers that, okay, please do this thing or repair will cost take this much or that much. Nothing. We also have the tie-up with the best popcorn suppliers in India, and we will be getting the best popcorn also. We have best popcorn, and I'm sure I should not be over claiming, but it will be again PVR, Inox, or Cinepolis, any of the big brand may better their popcorn. We will try to get the European standards of popcorn in our cinema. Technology again, obviously, technology wise, because I just told you the digital technology was brought in India by me only, and it was started over here. Technology wise, whether it's a website booking, whether it's the ticket delivery, whether it's a QR code, entries through QR, movies delivered through satellite, playing a cricket match, playing a play, for example, playing all these things will be whichever is digital experience, social media, all will be of the highest quality possible. We will create the cinemas so that the local events, like anybody wants to birthday parties, anybody wants to launch a book, for example, anybody wants to have a small engagement ceremony, for example, anybody wants to enjoy their anniversaries, our cinemas will be equipped to do all those things. So that's another thing which we are trying to incorporate in the cinema. Next slide, please, Ashish. So we have three formats. Our business model, it's called Veelo Special, Veelo Premium, and Veelo ZA. Veelo Special is a normal is a cinema which is for everybody, which will be a normal is very high quality sound, very high quality projection, but normal seating will be there. The next one is the Veelo Premium, where the seats will be a slider seat. It will look like a sofa, but it is, and this is again our own internal production. It will be like a slider. So if you so if it will look like a recliner, but it's not recliner. You are not going back completely 180 degree, but you will be able to slide, and it's very comfortable with the bounce technology, so that when you sit over there, you sink in. You feel like that you're sitting at home and watching the movie. Velozar is a high end of the product, where we will be having the recliners over there. Food and beverage will be little higher. Gourmet food and beverage means, they'll have different kind of food products over there. High end of sandwiches will be there. High end of drinks will be there. Coffee, for example, milkshake, and all those things will be over there. And we will try to improve sound little further. But sound wise and the projection wise, we want to be as close as, or maybe better than what the best of the cinema chain is doing in India. You don't think that, okay, just because it's a budget cinema we are talking about, is going to be lower than PVR. It's not going to be the lower than PVR at all. That's what I can promise you. Next slide. Okay, this is the screen density. If you see this, I started with this thing. Our density is only 6. So number of 6 screen per 10 lakh people. So this is very sad state. And you being an Indian, you know that how much mad we are about movies. Every party, every marriage, every birthday, every car, everybody is playing or watching Hindi or movie content. If you remove movies from our life, we will be dead. So we love movies, we live movies, we drink movies, but still we don't have the number of screen, because the formats on which we are trying to penetrate the country is not right. And I think we have got the formula right, and we are going to launch. And with your support and help, I'm sure we will have a very faster expansion and profitable expansion. Now, if you see the penetration also, again, we are talking about the young generation, the youngest generation who are able to watch the movies are 15 to 21 or till 30 of them. So this is the crowd in the smaller town everywhere. They want to watch movies. They want to watch movies, but we are not able to give them the opportunity to watch the movies. And if we give them the opportunity of watching the movies at the right price, I am sure about it. The number of seats will be quite less than the requirement, and it is going to be profitable business. Next slide, Achi. Moviegoers in India, obviously, this is another sector, where the males are 61% and the females are 39%. Despite low penetration, rural India and small towns contribute to a sizable 76% audience because of their vast population. Please understand, from 60,000 of number of screens, we have come down to 6,000, 7,000 single screen. Still, Salman Khan's movie does better in a smaller town than the big town. With So suppose it was 60,000 screens, what would have happened to those kind of movies? So the point is, today the collection, we say that PVR is doing well, or these country company, because they have the screens. They are in the bigger cities. Smaller cities, if you have a town, and you stay in those cities or town, and you have the experience, there is nothing to do in the evening. If after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, there's nothing much to do. If the cinema comes over there, it becomes a celebration. The way it used to happen 20 years back or 25 years, still the same culture is there in South. If you go to Chennai, the same culture is also there. Every town has got cinemas, and they are doing very, very well. Next slide, please, Sakshi. So we have the model where we invite you to open your own cinema. So we have two models. One is called you franchisee owned and franchisee operated, and another is franchisee owned and company operated. What we require is around 5,000 to 10,000 of plate. Don't look at the number in that way. Whatever the plate you have, we will work it out around that. The investment we are talking about around 75,000 to 80,000 per seat, and franchisee fees per screen will be approximately 10 lakh rupees, which includes everything. So that it's the designing of the cinema to building the cinema, and everything will be included in that, advising and all. So that will be important. Two screens minimum is required. Why we say two screens minimum required? Because it is important for the programming. Because sometimes what happens, there are two or three or four movies come at same time. So we don't want to miss out. We don't want to say that, okay, we can't play this movie because we have only one screen. So that is why we want to have two. 100 seats we want to have minimum. That is the payback period. I am very, very confident, which I told you earlier also, that with the God's grace, 98.7% of the screens which I opened in my life, in my career or life or whatever, you as a CEO or as well as an entrepreneur, they are profitable. So I am 100% sure that between 3 to 4 years, your money will be back, or maybe earlier, and agreement period will be around 10 plus 5 years. Yeah. So we want an entrepreneurs to come forward, the people who understand what is business all about. They understand that whatever I am saying, where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to say. And entrepreneur is a mindset where they understand the value of money. They understand how much risk to take. They understand where to take risk. And if you're going to take risk with me, for sure, it is not going to risk, right? It's going to be a journey where we want to create a model for you and for us. We should be able to you should be financially fit, so that you have the ability to, obviously it's a money which is required, and you should be financially fit to that. Operational fit, it should be entertainment side. You should love movies. If you're loving movies, you will understand this movie, and it's a very interesting field. That's a beautiful point of cinema. Everybody loves movies, you being an investor, you would be able to see the movie, first day, first show. Number one. Number two, in the society also, having a cinema, how much prestigious it is in a smaller town or a town where suppose you are a owner of a cinema, it's itself is a very prestigious thing. But if you love the cinemas, you would love to, we would love to discuss with you that how to promote movies, how to work around the society so that the movies are doing very well, because it will become a part of society. I am not coming over there to sell a fan. I'm not coming over there to sell a cooler, for example. I'm not opening a car showroom. So this is it's a daily need. People will be there who will be watching, in a month 4 times a movie. So these are the things where will require your operational input also, and marketing first. You need to be, if you love movies, if you enjoy your business, if you are an entrepreneur, you will talk great about this business everywhere. So we want our partners to be like-minded, so that we enjoy the journey together, and we are able to you know uh, make a happy money. We will make money, but we should be happy together, so that the journey is very, very successful. So we have just already written the same thing. Next slide, Ashish. Vilosana wants to have a successful and long-term relationship with all its partners, and is committed to offering complete support to all franchisee partners. Custom cinema design. Our designs of the cinema is very, very unique. Very, when we'll start working together, you will find, oh, this is a different cinema, and you will enjoy the cinema. Which it includes that what is the angle on which you are watching the cinema. We'll make it sure that every seat, 100 seats, every seat has got the same sound level, which is very important thing which I'm talking about. Not every cinema is able to achieve. It's a very expensive technology, but we will make it sure that every uh, seat is has got the same sound level. Every seat has got the right viewing angle. These are two small things which are general thing which I'm talking about. Cinema built and transferred. So we will build it for you, and then we'll operate it. So we are coming. We have a big, huge company which does the fit out for the big companies like Tata's and all. They are backing us up to make the cinema. So those qualities, and there will be imported materials, manufactured, not imported, manufactured materials will be used in this cinema. Start training and SOP, which I have talked about you, because we have experienced it to work in US and Europe. Nothing moves over there without the SOP and the training. So we'll make it sure that our people are best trained, and we'll try to achieve why PBR or something like. We'll try to achieve the service standard of a Taj Hotel or a Starbucks or something like that. So that's the idea of ours about the delivery. Technical support, which we have already talked about. It. Technology is one of my favorite subject, and marketing again. It's very, very important that we are able to market our product very, very well in the market, and rest assured, our marketing will be again it will be up to the mark, and local area marketing with your help also will be able to achieve our goal. New movie releases on Friday. This I've already talked about it. We will get every movie what we want in any language, anywhere in India. Anywhere in India, we'll get it because of our contacts, and we assure you for that. Marketing and promotional schemes, which obviously we will do it on a country level as well as at the local level. For example, if the Chhat is happening in Bihar, we will have something around Chhat. If Pongal is happening in Kerala, we will have something around Kerala. If Vaisakhi is happening in Punjab, we'll have something on 13th of April, something like that. So these kind of things, we will keep on doing it because, again, of our background, we understand the local flavor is very, very important. Ashish, next. So that's all from my end. And thank you very much for listening to me. And hopefully, we will be able to work together and make happy money together. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a couple of questions that we have in the chat box. Okay, so Raghavendra has asked, what is the average ticket price and average F&B value per customer per show?
See, we are talking about a ticket price of Ashish, would you like to answer that? Yeah. Ashish, you're on mute.
Sorry, you're on mute.
Yeah. So what we are looking forward for is the ticket price range between 200 and 225 for a normal seats. And concluding with that, the F&B average value will be around 80 to 90 rupees.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
So Bharat, what I will just add to what Ashish is saying, there is a huge gap. There are people who are selling the very high-end ticket, and there are people because they don't have the good cinemas, they are selling a very. So there is a gap. We have done a research, and we have found it out. If a consumer is able to spend between 400 to 500 rupees with the food per person, if they are able to, that is the right price for them in tier 2, tier 3 cities. So anything, so the ticket, and this is based on research, it's not my thing I'm talking about. So ticket plus food, if both together we are able to sell below 500, that is going to be an average. I'm talking about average. So weekday will be something different, weekend will be something. In average, if you are able to achieve that number, you should find. So what Ashish is saying, for example, 250 is going to be the ticket price, for example, and around 150 is approximately the food cost. Food thing is there. So it's approximately the same thing, and that's going to be the costing too. So if your family comes, for example, of four, right, around 1,500 to 1,600 is going to be the cost, which is right now more than 4,000, for example, in metros. So we are trying to bring it down to more than 50%.
Right. And what about the staffing? Like Vishal Srivastav has asked, like staff provided by the company?
Yeah, Ashish,
Yeah.
so sorry, yeah, Ashish.
So basically, what will happen is like we will be the backend for you. We will be a complete backend for you. Like we will be the hiring for you. We'll do the hiring for you, depending on the town also. Like we will be doing it for you, right? So the backend part, everything, the backend support is us, right? So you just have to sit and relax, and the backend part, the programming part, the marketing part, the operating part, we will be there for you.
Okay. Okay.
Also take up, friends, I'd like to thank you for attending the webinar. We had this short presentation we have shared with you. Maybe we spend the next 15 minutes. If you have any questions on the overall business model, please put your questions in the Q&A box. We'll be happy to take your questions. If you also own a property, because we're looking at people who have an access to the property, own a property, that would be the best fit for us. And we'll take up your questions, mention your city. And just to start off, I'd like to thank you, Amitabh Ashish ji, for coming and presenting this proposition to all our investors today. And I feel this is a massive opportunity we have in the exhibition space of cinema with Willows. And Amitabh ji comes with a very rich experience in the industry. He's a veteran. He's worked with, obviously, in India and also international markets like US and Europe, where they've been operating cinemas. And he's also put together his entire life experience in this project to launch the brand. Also launching a book, I don't know if he's mentioned about it, which is the first ever book on the cinema exhibition. And so if you look at the opportunity, friends, India accounts for more cinema goers than any other country in the world. And currently the biggest cinema market in the world in terms of movie goers. And it also produces the highest number of movies globally. And given the population of the country and the appetite for cinema goers, the market remains underserved. So which means there is a enormous scope for investment in this film exhibition infrastructure. And if you look at the model, there are two models which are being presented. One is franchisee owned and franchisee operated, which will be completely operated and owned by a franchisee. The other is franchisee owned, but the entire operations would be managed by the company. The minimum area requirement that we need is about 5,000 square feet, which can also go up to 10,000 square feet, which can have more screens. But every business, and especially a business of cinema, needs some kind of minimum efficiency, which is required to make the business financially viable. Hence, there's a requirement of two minimum screens for each model that we want to do. So very quickly, I think I saw some numbers on the screen. I made some points. So the fees that we're looking at is about 20 lakhs. That is the minimum fee because we're talking about two screens, which is 10 lakhs per screen. That comes 20 lakhs, the franchise fee for setting up a 5,000 square feet of space. And there's a minimum requirement of 100 seats in one cinema. And if you look at the investment in the per screen, this comes to almost about 75 lakhs. So we have an overall outlay of 1.5 crores that goes into the investment, and there's additional 20 lakh rupees. So in totality, this is approximately 1.7 crores, which is the overall outlay for a 5,000 square feet. And similarly, if we go to 3 or 4 screens, this investment would also be increased in proportion. So to start off with, Amitabh ji, if I can ask some questions on the business model and थोड़ा unit economics अगर हम समझा सकें अपने viewers को, I see some questions which are coming up randomly in terms of what is my ticket size. If we can talk about things like what is the minimum efficiency which a cinema would require, say on a weekday, on a weekend, and what would that average out to be? Typical margins they would have, rental structure that we're looking at. If you can talk about these things, I'm sure it makes it would answer a lot of questions our people have. And friends, please go ahead, put your questions. We'll take all these questions as much as we can take in the time that we have. If you own a property, I repeat again, access to the property in the city that you come from, please write that in the Q&A box. We'll take it up right away. Over to you, Amitabh ji.
So we'll just start. I think I'm just reading it. Shall I read the question? Question answer, and from there I will just.
But एक थोड़ा सा perspective डाल दे भी मेरे 100 अगर एक सीट का है, efficiency हमारी weekday पे कितनी आती है, weekend पे कितनी आती है, कि average revenue कितना per screen हम देख सकते हैं, project कर सकते हैं. And इसमें economics क्या बैठेगी, which means what is my cost of rental, मेरा occupancy cost कितना है, मेरी salaries पे.
I will just. Yeah, sure.
मोटा अगर हम understanding देते हैं, I'm sure this would help all of us, and then we can take all these questions also.
Just 1 second. So we are talking about for example, there's a cinema, for example, we are thinking that we hold on. Just let me just go straight away. I'm just taking time to open. Would you like to address this? You have the sheet now with you. Yeah. Right. So we are talking about, for example, I already talked about the ticket price. Now we will come back to the percentage of occupancy, which we are thinking is going to be around 30 to 40%, which is the occupancy I am talking about, which is going to be on an average on a weekly. So weekend we will be running around 70%. Weekday will be running around 20%. So that is going to be one format. As far as the few costs are very, very important, and which is the rental cost, for example. If it is your own property, nothing like it. If you are going to hire a property, it is going to be, don't go beyond around more than 12 lakh or something like that. 12%, sorry. 12%. 12%. 12% of the total gross revenue. Now, obviously, what is going to be the gross revenue, for example, so on this project, we are expecting that around 12 lakh rupees is going to be the revenue per screen, Ashish?
Yes, sir.
12, I'm not able to open the thing.
1 second.
Yeah, I'm just
5,000 square feet, this would be almost about 24 lakhs revenue, with the efficiency of 70% on weekends and about 30 to 40% on the weekdays.
On the weekday. And we are, so on the cost wise, but everything we can work it out. But I think we are going for EBITDA. The final profitability is going to be around 25%. How much is there? Sorry, Ashish, I have to.
It's the EBITDA for the first year we are taking is around 12%, and the ROI would be around 29%, 26%. So what we can say, the payback period will be around 3.48 years or 3.5 years that we have taken in, and the IRR will be 29%.
Yeah. So we are expecting that between 3.75 years, means around 4 years, between 3.5 to 4 on an average. There are a lot of properties can go below 3 also. Below 3, I have seen properties in 2 years they have covered this this investment. But I'm just saying that around 3.75 years, it's the ideal one to look at it. That okay, my money will come back. And depending upon the because one question was there that whether the food and beverage is the area included in that 5,000. Yes, when we are talking about It's all the carpet area. It's all we talk about the built up area is going to be the 5,000 which we need. And F&B will be required. Toilets are inside it. All these things are. But in case, for example, it's a we get a toilet next door, for example, we can save that area also. So every property will have their its own challenges. But on an average, we are talking about that these needs, it should be around 5,000 square feet.
Okay, that's helpful.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just reading it, and if you allow me, I will keep on answering
Please,
also.
please,
Please share.
Hanji.
Okay, what is your average ticket price and average F&B value? So we are talking about 250 rupees as a ticket price, which we talked about. An average F&B will be approximately 40 to 50%. I'm targeting 50%, but let's take around 40%.
40%.
40. So approximately 100 rupees will be our F&B price. What I said that, okay, I want to keep, or rather we want to keep the ticket price plus F&B together, not between 400 and 500, not go beyond that, so that we have more and more people coming and watching the movie. It should not become one of the, once in 6 months people are coming and watching. In a smaller town, we want to bring more and more people. And if you see the occupancy is high, maybe we'll reduce the ticket price further. Because at the end of the day, it's a habit we want to inculcate.
Or will you also be doing revenue sharing on advertisement that you will get?
Sorry?
What about the advertisement ads that you would be getting?
Yeah, of course. That advertisement income will also be part of the income sheet. Yeah. So there are three ways you are getting the income. Number one, actually four of them. One is the ticket, second is the F&B, third is the marketing, and fourth is the special events, for example. Suppose we tie up with something, the special events which are happening. So that's the fourth income we will be getting it. And actually, there is one more income is there, which we'll be sharing with them, that if somebody books online and we get some charge out of it. So some money we get out of it. So we will also sharing with that. So transparency will be completely there, that wherever any money which is coming to that cinema will go to them.
And अमिताभ जी इसमें sharing क्या रहेगी franchise partners के साथ हमारी on the overall revenue? And since we are looking at two models, one is owned and operated by them, so जो भी gross revenues होंगे, there's some share that is given to you as a royalty, and the other is franchisee owned company operated. What is the difference between the two models, and what kind of support structure, what kind of obligations a partner would have in a franchisee owned company operated model versus owned and operated?
Own operated, obviously, we will just keep on advising them, and maximum we will be having, so every operation is there with them. We will try through our system and processes, so that they are so that they are able to run properly. But obviously, a lot of day-to-day headaches will be there. Once it becomes once we are running it, and our managers will be there. Obviously, our managers will be there. Everything will be done by us. So it will be it will be handled by, they just have to the count the numbers, and not to get involved in that. But in case the franchisee owned and franchisee operator is there, then he has to be there himself to operate it. So if somebody thinks that, okay, I want to operate something of my own, because I have time and all, so they can get into that also. So we can support them. As far as the company is concerned, once somebody says, okay, I want to start a business, but I cannot give that much of time in this business and in integrity. So you please run it for me, and I will, so that's a FOCO model.
Sure. So FOCO pay, who takes, if we can also, help to understand who takes care of, how is the expense sharing done? How is the revenue sharing done in the franchisee and company operated model?
See, what happens in the most important thing is that the first we will control 2-3 things very important, because on the food and beverage, on the ticket booking, and on the movie booking. So what happens? We do it in a way that all the money is coming first to Veelo Cinema, and then what happens? Veelo Cinema will take out its royalty, will take it out, and will pay the money to the film hire and all those. So that what happens? There is no confusion as far as the movie, whether we are getting the movie next time or next week or not, because chances are there the franchises may forget it. The payments have not gone on time, or something can happen. We have such a strong team, we'll make it sure that the payments and everything is going. So for example, suppose we sell a ticket of 100 rupees. So we get 100 rupees in our bank, right? we will take out we will pay the film hire to the, for example, to any distributor, for example, Karan Johar. Whatever the money will be left, right? We will keep the 20% of it, and the rest we will transfer it to franchisee, and they can spend the money on manpower and rest of the things from there. So this I'm just all about 100 rupees. Rest all the money can be worked on that.
Okay. And कौन से cities होंगे which you want to prioritize in terms of a rollout?
We would be going for number two and obviously second and third, and we would prefer to have those places where the cinemas are not there, where the bigger cinemas are not there. But if there are smaller brands over there, we have no problem. For sure, if the PVR is there, don't go those cities. Not worth trying. But any other brand, we can look at any other cities, no problem in that. But again, we have to look at the center once we, after this, once we discuss it out, we will discuss city by city that maybe there are cities, locations are there. There is a bigger cinema in one location, and there is because cities are bigger also. So the another end can take this kind of cinema. So we are open to all, but definitely to tier 2 and tier 3 only.
That's helpful. And friends, my request to all of you would be, we have done a lot of working on the financials, and there's a in-depth sheet which can also be explained and shared with you. We like to do that over a one-to-one meeting. So if you can reach out to us, we'll also put a hotline number, and feel free to reach out to us. And maybe starting today and the coming week, we'll be happy to get you on one-to-one meetings and calls with Amitabh ji and also Ashish ji. And before we close, Amitabh, I'll request if you want to share maybe a last message with all our viewers.
Thank you very much, Sonia ji. It's important, and what you said the right thing, that okay. I am little conservative on sharing exact numbers of the cinema of the thing. Please understand, it's a 2 years of research, and it is for you. So I don't want to make it public. Once you are sure about it, we are here to answer every question, every cost will be shared with you. And once we drop this call, we are ready to entertain every call. Again and again, I'm just telling you, we have taken 2 years of research to make this cinema, and this cinema is going to be most. And I'm not trying to be overconfident because I'm sure about what we have done it. With God's grace, we have built PVR, and you know where PVR is. We have built the cinemas in Europe also, which is there, and our success rate is 98.7%. Any detail you want to know about me, it's there available. Little bit is available on LinkedIn, so you can see there. Your money is very, very important. Our job is to protect it, as my own money. Actually, it is my own money, kind of thing. And the biggest pressure on me is, which I was talking to my team also, and that to make it sure that you become my marketing, so that you go and tell to 10 people that we invested in Veelo Cinema, and we are happy about it. We made money, because I want to face you with a smiling face. I want you to make money. So that's very important, and with the love for cinema. So thank you very much. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To the viewers, in case if you would like to have a one-on-one discussion with the brand, please get in touch with our hotline number, that is 9717683828. Or you can also get in touch by writing to us on our mail ID, that is feedback@franchiseidea.in.
We can't hear you, Bharat. And friends, I think I see one of the questions also on the locations we are currently running. So we are coming up very shortly. It should be about a month and a half time. We're launching 4 screens in Gurgaon.
Yes.
And that's one location which is coming up. So any of our friends who are keen to come and discuss, our head office is in NCR. We'll be happy to connect with you. And we'll also invite you on the launch which is coming up. The work is in progress. These are 4 screens in one of the popular malls, one of the oldest malls operating out of NCR. So we'll be happy to share more information on the financials and maybe connect with all of you one-to-one. Thank you for joining in, Amitabh ji, Ashish ji. And thank you all of you for being
Thank
with
you,
us.
Sonia.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thanks so much,
Thank
man,
you.
for being
Thank you.
available. Thanks so much, everyone. And in case
Thank
if anyone would like to get in touch with the brand on one-on-one basis, so please get in touch with our hotline number 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. Thanks so much, Sonia ma'am, for being available for this webinar, and Amitabh sir for explaining everything in a very better way. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Tomorrow day after tomorrow, we will have another opportunity to learn more about the brand, and we will come up with a new business opportunity and with a new brand. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us this webinar.
Thank you very much. Have a